Call this board meeting together for February the 23rd, 2026 at 6 p.m., and 180 Maple Street. I believe we got everybody's here. We're good to go on that. Jeff, would you mind doing the prayer? Give me the
Father God, we thank you for the beautiful day that you give us, Lord, for the many blessings you bestow upon us, Father, as a city, as a community, and individually, Lord. We thank you for this opportunity to come together and do the business of the city of Lexington. Father, I pray for a blessing upon this board. I pray that you would grant them wisdom, that everything that they do would be pleasing in your sight. Even the less fortunate in our community, even the sick and afflicted, those experiencing loss. Thank you for all the blessings you give us each day, Father. In Christ's name we pray.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
call roll, please.
Here.
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 The first item on the agenda is approve or any corrections of minutes of the prior meeting, 4.1, the regular board meeting of February the 9th, 2026. If you had a chance to review them, I will entertain a motion to approve or any corrections we need at this time.
Make a motion.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Chip Clark.
Yes.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes.
Yes.
Donna Ross.
Yes.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gabe Williams.
Yes.
Sandra Woods.
Yes.
The next item is for unfinished business. I'm sorry about that. Actually, it's calls for comments from the public. If anybody's got a,
I want to talk about cemetery.
sorry about that.
And just all y'all know, I'm Fredo Perry. We had some more rocks, ten rocks in Torres this way. We had a Walker and a Johnson. And they in the black part of the cemetery. They're toward Ronnie. We've got pictures of it, who's all over the one was a black teardrop rock, and somebody took and scratched her eyeballs out of her picture. And it did look like a cut face on her neck. Her mother is buried behind her, and she had a little grave rock. And they just took and just beat the rock with it. Something was going to have to be done. And this just has to pay off. That cemetery is a sacred place for her little woods, and there shouldn't nobody be over there tearing it up. And I'm asking now, please, put some campus over there where that will have to go forward. It's just not my family buried over there. I know some of y'all got family buried over there. I know Robert's got a son buried over there. We need help to get this stopped. Because every day that I take my friends to work, to school, just about every day I go by there to see if Shayla Spray was tore up again. And if it's not mine, it's somebody else's. And they live their lives just like I live mine. And like y'all live y'all. And we need to tell us where this will happen no more. Jail is locking the gate. I went by this morning, paying the school, and the police was over there and locking the gate. I don't know, was the gate locked? I don't know how they're doing it, they're doing it in the daytime. There was a big skid mark in front of Steve's Anthony and my granddaughter and my husband about 10 or 12 foot long where they held the brake and just spin the cars and make blackface come through that. That has to be done in the daytime. I figured the garage would see some of that going on over there. Somebody needs to be watching. This is getting out of hand. So if y'all would be so grateful to put cameras over there, we would all appreciate it. And thank y'all so much.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna, before we move on to unfinished business, let's address the cemetery just a little bit. I know it's not really on the schedule, but I would like to talk about it a little bit. Is the cemetery lighted?
Is it what?
Does it have lights?
Yes.
How many?
As, on each column when you come in, and probably, I don't know, I should say probably 4 or 5 more throughout.
Is it lit pretty good?
I can't say that I've been over there late at night and paid that much attention.
All right.
It's not highly dark spots in there, in some of the areas, yes.
Casey, I want you, one night this week, I want you to go over and go through that cemetery. And Jeff, I'd like you to meet with him. And I want y'all to look, identify where we need some lights in that cemetery. We need to light it up at night. And I think you've been working on some cameras.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Maybe somebody here in the next week or so.
Okay. And we got some cameras that we'd like that might be able to be introduced to this. So at the next meeting, we'd like to have a little report on what we can do, and we need some lights and where they need to go.
I've got a question too.
Okay?
At one time when we talked about this, the backside gate, they said it wasn't able to close and lock. Can it be locked now?
Yes, we're locked, we'll shut that down.
Lock when you come in from the back side.
Both sides is got locked.
I had asked Jeff, I'd asked Jeff for the police chief to start locking the gate at sundown and open it back up in the morning. We've been doing that, so we don't know if somebody's slipping in and do it. Evidently, if they drove a car in, they had to be during the daytime instead of nighttime. But if I figure that probably the destruction, maybe somebody walking in at night. But if we light it up and put some cameras, we might be able to curtail some of this. But we'll work on this and we'll do a review on it at the next meeting. Okay? All right, thank y'all. Let's move on to unfinished business. 7.1 is discuss vehicles. Now, this is left over from about 2 or 3 times, and we also got discuss vehicle take-home policy. Actually, these two, I think, are intertwined in one another. I think you can't talk one without the other. We have to decide what the take-home policy is going to be and how we're going to address it, and who can or can't drive vehicles. Have we or anybody done anything in this to what we should do or not do?
So I have been emailing back and forth with department heads, just not on the take-home policy side, just to trying to get some type of policy, and I think Donna has some written up. Did they actually ask if she did, could they see that also, but to get a policy of what can and can't be going on in our vehicles, tobacco, smoking, as bad as it is to say, make sure they know no alcohol bottle even in there, things of that nature, and I mean, we still working on that side of it, but Donna, I think, had something put together already for some of it.
Well, the biggest thing that is of concern to me, Mayor, the vehicle policy that we have right now, it does talk, about incidental, it says if an employee is on their way home and they're in a city vehicle and they need a loaf of bread, it's okay to stop in at the food giant and get a loaf of bread if that's what they're going to do, and it's not putting additional miles on the vehicle. I don't think anybody on the board would have a problem with that, or if they, what are y'all's thoughts on that? Is everybody okay with that? The biggest part that is concerning to me is that we have people with family, children. We've seen children being picked up from school. We've seen children being dropped off at home. We've seen wives and children in vehicles. We've seen husbands and children in vehicles. And so the liability policy that covers the city is very clear on this. A covered party is a member of this legislative body, a member of any board or commission of this municipality, an elected or appointed official, an employee. To the extent allowed by law, a volunteer person or organization acting on behalf of the municipality. To the extent allowed by law, any other person or agent of this municipality while acting on behalf of the municipality. Specifically, you notice it doesn't say family. These vehicles are to be used for the business of the city. And so I feel like that this policy needs to be amended to reflect no family members riding in a city-owned vehicle. Mr. Clark has spoke about the smoking, alcohol bottles, alcohol use. I just feel like that we have left our this is a liability issue for the city. That's what I believe. Any thoughts?
It's definitely wide open, and I feel like, in my opinion, it doesn't do the department heads right because we don't give them anything in black and white to even go by. I've spoken with one department head that actually had an issue. I mean, he asked for some stuff to be added to it. So that's kind of what we was looking at. I do have a question though, because like I'm dead on the families that ain't supposed to be in them. I see it. What scares me is, I think like what Chief and them were able to do, during the ice storm by helping citizens get places. I think the New Year's Eve when they can give people rides, I think it's awesome, and I don't want it to go anywhere. We need to make sure it's covered.
But that's official capacity of the that's official business of the municipality, I would assume that would be. I mean.
I just would like to make sure. If it is, I'm good. I don't want that, I want us to cover that, is what I'm saying.
Chief, what's your thoughts?
My understanding in speaking with our insurance carrier is, as long as we have a written policy that allows for that, and if you review the LPD policy, it prohibits personal use unless specifically authorized by the chief. And then our additional policies have allowance for the transportation of citizens, the transportation of prisoners, and gives us that discretion. Generally speaking, for example, we don't transport people that need medical treatment, but it leaves us discretion for that scenario where we have no other alternative and we've got to scoop somebody and move them and we had to do that before. So my understanding from a liability standpoint in talking with our insurance carriers is how your policy is written and what you allow by policy. If it blatantly says under no circumstances, family members under no circumstances, then that would be a violation and it wouldn't be covered. That's my understanding. But if the policy allows for instances, and you're never going to be able to cover them all, but that's why it's worded at the discretion of the department head. I've had to take people at 2 in the morning who got to the hospital and then didn't have a ride home, and we picked them up and got them back home. It was one of those discretionary deals that we applied that. And the weather conditions and all those scenarios give us discretion, and my understanding is, and I've checked several times, that our insurance carrier says as long as your policy allows for that, you're covered.
This is the issue. If we allow Lexington Police Department to transport family members, then we have to allow all the other general fund employees to departments to do that. I don't think that we need family in our vehicles. I just don't.
Well, you don't have family in there, right?
The only instance where I have
You
granted,
got the one that works at the school
I've got
and
an
the doctor.
SRO who has children in school.
Children
and
at
she's going
school.
to the school.
Yeah.
And I've granted her permission under that circumstance.
But her children are at a different school, are they not? From where she works? Doesn't she work at Kaywood
She
and one of
at
them works
Kaywood,
at...
and one of them is at middle school.
There you go.
And
So that's putting additional miles on a vehicle that's a city vehicle that's not on her way home. That's the point.
now, whether or not that's de minimis or not is, I guess, is the question. Is that
Right.
is that something that the board will do? The policy gives us discretion to do that, but if the board, it's the will of the board to change that. All you got to do is let me know.
I guess what I'm asking the board is, do we want to change our take-home policy and review what the insurance says, or with the exceptions that has been stated in that, or what we want to do with it? Evidently, we need to make some changes to it, and especially if we're going to include the exemptions for certain things.
Is this something that takes two readings on, or can we do it? We
I
can do
think
it
that's
in
a
one.
policy to take 2 readings, Cody.
It's a resolution, it's not an ordinance, so it's only gotta have one. So, if
And-
you wanna change it, or what
And,
do you wanna do?
well, my thing is for sure, I think we need to get a vehicle policy for the department head's sake as to what goes on and does not go on inside the vehicles. We have nothing. I texted and asked the recorder, he told me no. Then I talked to department heads, like the chief has policies, because he's got, I mean, he's like the military.
Cause he's a chief.
But nobody else, I mean, like me and Public Works talked today, and, I mean, he tells his guys, but I mean, it's just him telling them. He has no leg to stand on if something happens. Then we had another department head that had an issue that wanted to be able to stand, and he couldn't even issue a write-up because we have nothing on paper. We've got to fix that for their sake. I mean, it ain't fair to them to be sitting up there and they don't have no way of reprimanding or doing anything. That's my opinion. That's why I was working with them, trying to put something together, not trying to go behind nobody, doing nothing else. I just asked them all in an email form, what did they think? What was their ideas? What's something they want on it or something they don't want in it? Send them to me, let's try to put it together, and then bring it to y'all. That's what I was trying to do, not on the take-home, just on the vehicle policy side.
Well, I make a motion that you continue to do that and work with them and bring us back one in writing so that we can read it.
You second it. Roger made a motion. Gabe seconded it.
If you don't mind. continue.
No, I don't mind. We done started it. I told them it was a
Go
work
ahead,
session
start.
through email. But if you got yours, I'd like to see if you got, they want.
The only thing that I have on mine is that, the policy that we currently have says that vehicles will only be used for official city business, and, it already states
Yeah.
that. It already states that the employees are prohibited from using city vehicles for personal use.
They got that one. I thought you had written some stuff in
No.
already.
What I'm saying is
Yeah.
that in addition to this, the family members
Oh, yeah.
smoking,
Yeah.
alcohol,
Yeah, that all needs to be
there
added.
needs to be some strong wording in there
Right.
about
I agree.
compliance with that policy.
Now,
But if-
in my opinion, the take-home is a separate section.
Absolutely. So we're gonna have a
got a
policy to
motion
come
and second
back?
on vehicle
Is that what
policy.
we're,
Yes.
is that what Mr. Lofton?
Yeah.
That's right. Before we move on, no, let's go ahead and just have a vote on it. Any more discussion? Call the roll.
Roger Lofton.
Yes.
Tim Rhodes.
Yes.
Donna Ross.
Yes.
Jimmy White.
Yes.
Gabe Williams.
Yes.
Sandra Woods. Chip Clark.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna break protocol just a little bit. I want you to look at 8:13 on the agenda for tonight. It's next to the bottom. And I brought this because we just received this back. I didn't make copies for everybody because we don't exactly what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it. But this was sent off in 2023 to review all of our policies and ordinances. And we just got this back last week. And this is a draft that they sent right here of everything y'all talking about. This stuff is missing. They also, in a report, they did everything that they recommended changing, and it's in all these right here. And it tells you where they're at and the things you need to change. So we're not up to code, or we're not up to policy on it. So we're gonna try to do a review. But one thing, we don't have a good policy on family medical leave, with other issues besides that. But this needs to be worked on, and that's what they do. Then they sent another section here recommended, even though we give this as a change they want here, this is what they said that we should incorporate into our policies. So we got 3 things to look at, and they sent it back. And what I'd done was, I wrote on here that we need to let the committee chairmen and the department heads get together and everybody have a copy of this. And we think 95% of it will be generic for the whole city. But what's going to happen, the police and the utilities will have a difference. And what will happen is there'll have to be a section in there for each each department, like the police will have one, the utilities will have one, and that's what it'll be. But it wants, but all of it needs to be instated in this policy right here.
That's a city code.
Yeah. This is it. I mean, this is everything that we have, municipal code is what we got right now. But like I said, this is the new draft. And this is the changes they put into this new draft. And this is the recommendations that they said they would even want us to look at above this right here. Didn't say we have to, but these are recommendations. So that's what we'd like to do, is for the chairmans to talk to each department, and everybody get a copy of it. We'd run out of paper printers after that, but I just got this last week, and I wanted to bring it to the board, but so we could work on it, and that also goes hand in hand with the take-home policy. So if we're gonna make a review and vote on the whole thing, I think it all needs to be introduced and put into this at one time. I think we need to review the whole policy instead of just picking on one or two, because we have issues in several departments that we don't have a specific code or what policy we should follow. So that's the reason we want to do this. And I was gonna, like I said, that's what I brought you tonight. It's close to the end, but I thought that'd be a good time to go ahead and talk about it. I didn't know we was gonna get in detail on changing policy, but this is what we need to do. And by the way, this is not a discuss or approve. It's just I'm making you aware of this right here. I'm just discussing it and understand what's going to happen. So that's what we're going to do. Everybody okay with that? Yes, sir. Okay. Y'all okay? All right. Good deal.
So
All
we're
right.
not going to appoint this three-alderman
No,
committee?
we're not going to do that. The reason we're not going to do it is because of what's come up tonight. What we want to do is we want each chairman to work with his department and come back, and we're going to, and they can see what it is and mark up what you need or don't need and see what specifically would be different for that department. But generically speaking, 95% of this is going to cover everybody. But there'll be some exceptions, and we'll have to go through it and do it. Okay. All right. So now, I'm going to move on to 7.3, discuss, that's the vehicles. I thought what we were going to do in a policy, take on policy too.
This one with the vehicles, who's taking the vehicles?
All right. We'll talk about discuss the vehicles. All right.
Is there, I thought what he was, I know, but I thought what he was saying is there's one in there for us to
I'm talking about
review.
the vehicle policy,
I'm talking about the
use of
take-home.
the-
Did it have the
Okay,
take-home in
sorry.
there?
I'm sorry, misunderstood. We're going to talk about the use of vehicles. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
I mean, that's what I thought this was on the agenda for.
Okay.
You know, we've been battling this, we've been going back and forth with this, I look back, we've been talking about this for a long, long time. And, we don't seem to be making any ground. We keep tabling it or putting it off, or we need more information, or, we just don't get anything done with it. And so, my particular department is LES, that's the one that I'm chair over. LES has got true emergency on-call people taking their vehicles home, okay? They've got, 2 sets of linemen supervisors on each end of the county. They've got, Manager Brad's got a vehicle, and then you've got like substation, I think out of 60 employees, they've got 10 vehicles that's going home, okay? And they're all, and those are rotated. It's not like the same 10 people are taking them home every night. Some of these others, I'm unsure, but we are seeing, I mean, the public has spoke on this. The people have spoke on this, and they have spoke loud and clear. They want these vehicles, they want them utilized for city business, and they want emergency on-call people driving them. And so I'd like to hear the wishes of the board on that.
So, I got a question. You saying the manager is all gonna be an emergency
I would say a
on call?
department head.
That's what I'm talking about,
Yes.
department head.
Yes, I would say a department head is an emergency response person, would you not?
No, my thought was in my opinion, on-call goes to the job site, not to the office. That's my opinion, but I mean, there's 7 of us, so. That's just the way I see it. But I don't care either way. I know that the school board asked for 3 of the public, isn't it 3 of them that go to the school? 3 maintenance? And the school board asked that them 3 be left alone because they come straight to the school and they do the red lights. Then, other than that, and this, I mean, I don't know for sure who else drives home every night. I know you do.
I do, Christian does, and Shane does.
That's what we're supposed to get together about, right?
Yep.
No, sir, we were talking about getting together on our policy. This is talking about vehicle use is what I'm talking about, emergency vehicle use.
Isn't it involved in that policy?
No, sir.
It's not?
I don't think it describes in there exactly who takes it home. It's like we've said here before, it's the discretion of the department head. So the question is, do we want to limit what the department head can send home or use or not, is what the question is, because right now it says the department head decides who does that.
I think they can keep up with it a whole lot better than we can.
Do you got 6 to go home, Casey?
Me, Christy, Shane, and then, Jason Cole is a foreman over the street. And then you have 2 on-call people, and then you have, 3 for the city stuff.
And the school does red lights also. And Christy does red lights, because I've seen her there.
Do they have to report to Public Works before they go out on their job?
If it's a call, no, if it's a call, they usually go straight from their house, wherever, depending on, you know, if it's, to evaluate the situation, if they need another piece of equipment or something, then they have to go to the shop. But they carry saws in the truck, so if it's a tree down or something like that, they usually can cut the tree up, to get it out of the road.
Mayor, it may be best for us to wait till this, take-home policy. Are we going to try to have this done within the next 30 days and present it back in March?
It's going to be up to y'all as the chairman of the board, because if you have it ready for the next meeting, we'll vote on it in the March meeting. The reason I brought it tonight, I'll get everybody a copy of this. Next day or two, we'll have to print all these out and get them to them, but,
But that doesn't have,
But you could write that
does
in
it,
the
you could
policy.
add it, yeah, I agree.
I mean, what we're doing
Yeah, I got
here
you.
is, you can write, if you're going to just do the take-home policy, you can also do the use vehicle policy too. Is that what y'all want to do?
I guess that's it. We're not gonna make it.
All right. Moving on to 7.3, discuss the automated time cards. Chief, could you come to the podium,
Yes,
please?
so I spoke with the mayor following the last board meeting and kind of got some direction as to kind of what he felt like the board was looking for. We've been using an automated system at police and fire for about a 5-year period. It's specifically made for this type of application in police and fire with our untraditional pay periods and some problems that we encounter that are kind of unique to police and fire world. We reached out to the company called Planet, and they can very easily accommodate almost everything that I understand the board wants. One of the things that's very unique about this company is that they want to sit down and meet with you to talk about your specific business operation, because they build in to their system it's a web-based application. You pay an annual fee, and it's based by licensing. Okay. Once you set up your original business rules based on your policies and procedures, then they build in checks and balances into the system that keep you in compliance with your own policies. And it does a lot of things that I understand. You have a time clock function. So if you want to, it's my understanding that it's the will of the board to have a time clock function. We can do that from a cell phone, and you can, if you want to make it to where it has to be in a particular IP or set of IP schemes, addresses. To be able to do that, you can send those validation rules. So quite simply, if you want to make it aware that they're going to be in this building to clock in and clock out, that's the way you can do it.
Does it have a location finder on it, because like the utilities, we've got some that start, stops here.